Hi everyone, Scott with CyberScribe.org, and in this video we're going to configure Inter-VLAN routing for the previous VLAN configuration that we set up. So in the previous video, you could see it's color-coded here, so we set up VLAN 10 to cross this trunk and communicate to this other VLAN 10 here. And we also did that with the blue guy, crosses the trunk, so we allowed VLAN 10 and 20 on this trunk link. And the right PC, the blue PC, can ping the left blue crossing the trunk. And remember, we did not do that for VLAN 30. So here only 10 and 20 can ping each other. Remember, we put VLAN 30 as the guest, so there's no real need for them to talk to one another. So let's set up inter-VLAN routing. What you need is a router, so we're going to put that here. And what we're going to do is, right now, if green wanted to ping blue, it wouldn't work, because it needs to go and switch the route. Remember, this is on 192.168.10.10, or 192.168.10.0, and this one is 192.168.20.0. So right now, there's no way to kind of move between these things because they're in different subnets. You need a router for that. So that's what we're going to do. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up these things called Subinterfaces on the router. And then what will happen is we will be able to ping, green will be able to ping blue. So let's just set up the connections here. Alright, and it's going to be red until we're finished. We're going to configure the switch first, but if you can see my mouse, what this is going to do is, say I'm green right here, and I wanted to ping this guy down here, this blue guy. What's going to happen is it's going to start, and it's going to go up to here, and it's going to go back, and it's going to go back to this guy. If I was green here and I wanted to ping this blue guy here, what would happen? It would go up to the switch, up to this router here, then it would kind of swap it out, and then it would go down and go to this guy. Same thing here. So basically, when you're doing the inter-VLAN routing, the router is necessary to switch the subnets and kind of change, because it's a different route. So it's going to be changing the route to the local route that you're going to be going to. Okay, so let's get that set up here. It's pretty easy to do on the switch. All we're going to do is configure the one trunk link, and that's on gigabit 2. So we are there. And all we need to do is one real quick command, switch port mode trunk. That should be it. So let's go to the router, and we're going to do a couple configurations here, not too much. And I'm not going to bother entering in all these passwords and stuff like that. There's another video on that, so if you need to check out how you do the basic configuration, you can check that out. Okay, so we are on interface gigabit 01. But the thing is, what we're going to do, this is the router on a stick configuration. So we're basically going to set this up as, it's gigabit 00. We're going to set this up as a trunk link. So what we do is we create a sub interface on that. See that? How I have VLAN 10 is the green, and we're going to put in gigabit 0.0/0.10. Okay, and see sub IF sub interface. Now what we need to do is go encapsulation and mode, and I don't think it's mode, it's .1Q 10. Okay, make sure that the interface, the sub interface ID, and that .1Q 10, just make sure those are consistent. It'll be easier when you do it like that. Okay, and now we need to make an IP address for that. This is going to be the default gateway. 10.1 and 255.0. Okay, that's it for that one. Now we didn't do a no shutdown. We're going to do that on the whole interface, so not on the sub interface, but on the interface gig 00. Now we need to do just for VLAN 20. Let's do that right now. 0.20. And we're going to add the IP address here. 20.1 and 255. Okay, so you see how we have 192.168.10.1 and 20.1. Those are going to be that's going to be the default gateway for these computers in VLANs 10 and 20, the respective VLANs. So just remember that. Okay, exit that. Now we're going to go interface GOO, and now we're going to do a no shutdown. And what we should see is the red lights. We should see those light up into green. And give it a minute, and those will come up. And you can see here, gigabit Ethernet 0.0/0.20 changed to up, and the 10 changed to up. So once these both turn green, we should be able to ping each other. Now let's just check here. I just want to make sure. Okay, so we do have, I did set up the default gateway. So right now this is VLAN 10. Okay, this is this guy here. So I'm going to try to ping. So the first test I'm going to do is just VLAN 10. I'm going to try to ping VLAN 20 here. Remember, it's on a different IP address, different network address. So that's why we needed this router here. Okay, let's just ping the default gateway of the router first. So you see it's getting to the router and it's being switched over to the other network address for that router. So now let's do a ping, and let's just make sure that we can get to both of these computers down here, and then we'll do a test for this this guy down here. Okay, that worked. Let's just do 11. That should work. When it doesn't do it the first time, that's probably because it's resolving it with ARP. Okay, and so what you just saw is that this PC here in the green was able to ping this guy, so Inter-VLAN routing, and then he was able also to go from here across that trunk, go up, down, and then here. Okay, so that is one example, and let's just do this one and just finish it up here. It's pretty easy. There's really only like maybe a couple more commands than just setting up the regular VLAN, so it's not too difficult to do. And let's just double check this. I'm gonna go ping 192.168.10.1. Okay, so it's getting and switched over into that router. Now let's do 10. And that's working. And let's do a final one, just make sure. And it picked it up right there. Okay, so on the VLAN 30, just to go to show you, I didn't put a default gateway in there. We're not going to test that because there's the previous one that we did. Remember, we're just communicating across this trunk link for VLAN 10 and 20. So VLAN 30 is just the example to say it doesn't always have to cross. So that's it for that. Like I said, now we can ping across these VLANs, and pinging is communicating. So now you have inter-VLAN communication, and that's all I had for you today, and I will see you in future videos.